hello, beautiful friends. I am the organizer advisor here to help you enhance your happiness and transform your life. Okay, so in this episode, we're going to continue talking about organizing our children's rooms, their personal space, and their personal belongings. So this is going to include books, stuffies, toys, clothes, games, and whatever else your children have as personal items. So it's really important that we keep our children organized, because when they are organized, they feel empowered just like you. But when they're disorganized and they're overwhelmed, this leads to frustration, anger, and low self-esteem. So we're going to continue organizing our children's personal items, and today we're going to talk about toys. So go grab your hydration beverage and let's spend a few motivational minutes together talking about how to clean, check for safety, and organize and store our children's toys. I'll see you back here in a minute. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, so if you haven't seen the video on stuffies, you may want to check that out. We've already cleaned and organized our stuffies. There's a video for that in the playlist, so go ahead and check that out. And then also we have cleaned and organized our children's books. Now these are items of overwhelm, just like toys, and your children can have so many that they contribute to a feeling of chaos, clutter, and overwhelm. And we are going to want to help our children manage that so they feel empowered just like we do when our house and personal space and items are cleaned and organized. So the first thing we do when we organize anything is we go gather. So you can use a laundry basket, bin, box, whatever, but gather your children's toys. Now they may be in a toy box, they may be scattered throughout the room, so you can have your children help you. I used to make a game of it and put the laundry basket in the center of the room and have my children just gently throw the toys in the laundry basket as a way of picking up. That really kind of helped the hand-eye coordination. It made it a game, and it also made it interesting for, sorry, I have a pop-up, for my children to be able to learn to pick up. They did it in a quick manner, so it wasn't like overwhelming and something they wanted to avoid. Okay, so once you've gathered their toys, you're going to want to go through them. Now, I like to categorize the toys because, with children, it comes in a plethora of cars, action figures, little animals, it could be Barbies, clothing for dolls, whatever. I have tons of these little animals. So I like to categorize them, and I also like to put them in like zip top bags or these plastic bins so that they can stay organized. Now you can get these plastic shoe boxes that have lids. You can get these plastic boxes that have really snap-on lids that work really well to keep things organized. So if you want to use clear plastic boxes, this is going to depend on your storage space and your budget. These are the cheapest, these are a little more expensive, and the clear plastic hard boxes are much more expensive. So tailor this to your budget. You can always upgrade later, and you want to have something that works with your child but also keeps things stored safely. Okay, now once we have gathered and gone through and kind of categorized, now we're going to check for safety. If you can see in this little truck, one of the wheels is missing. That's a safety hazard. First of all, it's got a little place here that can be, this hard plastic can actually cut a child's lip if they chew on it or if they fall on it. But also the wheels can pose a safety hazard. So of course these aren't recommended for small toddlers, but if you have children of different ages, you want to make sure that the toys that are not recommended for small children and toddlers are stored safely, and that your older child has safe playtime with them so that you can make sure they're all picked up. But you want to check if there's any loose parts or pieces that can fall off. That's a choking hazard even for older children. So we want to go through the toys and just check and make sure that they are in good order. Anything that's broken is frustrating to a child, so you may want to go ahead and help them learn to purge. Now, some of the cautionary things is if you have toys that are electronic, you're going to want to set those aside. I use my Listerine spray and a cloth, just like we do the electronic stuffed animals. I just spray on the cloth and wipe the electronic toy down because you really can't immerse them in water. So pull those aside right now, and we'll clean those with the Listerine spray and a soft cloth. That's going to sanitize them. It's going to get all the germs so there's no germ transference, and then you're going to have clean, sanitized toys without having to put them in the basin of water. Okay, so let's talk about, once we get them categorized, what if you have way too many toys? What if your child has so many toys that there's not enough storage and they're constantly overwhelmed? My rule is for children under the age of 5, they should be able, or under the age of 8, they should be able to pick up all their toys in 5 minutes. If it's longer than that, they have too much. So my system for dealing with toy overwhelm is my 4-bin system. So I get 4 bins. I like them to all be the same color and the same size. I like them to be stackable. So you can use the Rubbermaid bins, the Sterilite bins, and the size depends on how many toys you're going to need to put in them. Now, why do I have 4? Because I have 1 for each week. I have week 1 of the month, week 2 of the month, week 3 of the month, and week 4 of the month. So I divide the toys into 4 different weeks in those bins. So if I have a lot of little cars, I may put the some cars in each bin. I put them in a zip top bag, keep them together, but then I'll put a little bit in each bin. And what this does is at the first week of the month, I take out week 1. Those toys are clean, they're sanitized. The child has the opportunity to engage with those toys throughout the week. They haven't seen them in a month, so it's kind of new and novel. They're more likely to engage, which means you're getting your money's worth. And they then have that experience and opportunity to play with those toys. On Saturday at the end of the week, or on Sunday when we do our Sunday prep steps, we clean those toys, we sanitize them, dry them really well, and put them back in the bin. Then we get out week number 2. So you see how this flow goes, but it helps to keep the child's room manageable. Saves a lot of disagreements between you and your child about keeping their space organized. It reduces the frustration of your children, and that frustration often builds into anger and arguments, and the reduction of that is a healthier home environment for you and your children. Okay, so let's talk about cleaning. Sorry, there was a little piece of dirt there. So what I do is the non-electronic toys, I just pop them in some soapy water. You can do this in the bathtub. You can put them in a laundry basket or a bin, even a colander. You can put them in a mesh bag. You can run some hot soapy water in your bathtub and dip those toys in and let them soak. However works well for you. I don't have a lot of toys here, so I'm just going to use this little bin of soapy water. And this is just dishwashing soap and some warm water. I like warm water because it helps to dissolve any kind of oils. When we touch things, we have oils on our hands that deposit, and I like warm soapy water because it's going to take those oil deposits off. Now, I'm going to let those soak for a while. I'm going to put this little fella in and, just go through the entirety of the toys. Now, you can help, your children can help with this. We're using non-toxic ingredients, so this is actually helping teach them how to take care of their items, and that's really important. Okay, now the next step. I have a bin of warm water, and I'm going to add a capful of my Listerine. Listerine, if you haven't heard on my channel before, was developed in the 1800s as a surgical instrument sterilizing solution. 1960s, somewhere around there, it became a mouthwash. It is made with alcohol and herbs. It is non-toxic. I mean, we use it as a mouthwash, but it is an antiseptic. Now you have to use the Listerine brand, and I use the regular Listerine, the original Listerine, you know, the kind that is kind of like tastes medicine-y, but it is non-toxic. So even if there's a little residue left on your toys, it's not going to hurt your children. So I just kind of get the drain the soapy water off and pop them into this Listerine solution, because you don't want to really transfer a whole lot of soap. And then just give them a nice little, make sure it gets into all the little cracks and crevices. And then we just drain on a dry towel. You can put these out in the sun, but be careful, metal parts are hot. But if you want them to dry, you can just lay them out on a towel and they will dry within really a half an hour or an hour is about all I give them. I just make sure they're really dry before I put them back in the storage bins. But now you have clean, sanitized toys for your children to play with. They also are checked for safety, and we have pulled out any electronic toys, cleaned those with our Listerine spray and a cloth. You can even use a little, just dip the cloth into the Listerine's water here, and you can clean the toys that way. That way you're saving a little bit of Listerine, but it depends on if you already have Listerine spray made, you can do that too. So now we have all of the toys clean, sanitized, organized, and we have a system to keep your children's rooms cleaner, more organized, reducing that frustration, reducing that family friction, and contributing to an overall healthier environment for your child and for your family. Okay, that's my little video for today. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. I love reading your comments. I try to respond to everyone, but I am so grateful to any interaction that is going to help motivate the algorithm to share my videos with others so that we can get these videos and this information out to people who really want to transform their lives. All right, I am the Organizer Advisor, here to help you, and until I see you again, I wish you health, happiness, and harmony.